Army, a 14.5-point dog here. The over-under, 44.5. Army, comically bad schedule. They're sort of like the Indiana, but they haven't made people mad yet because they're not ranked high enough.
So they always have an easy schedule. They usually play 2 FCS teams when they're an independent, but they joined the American this year. They even missed the hardest teams in the American.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the thing. They didn't play Memphis. They didn't play Tulane. They don't play Navy until after. It doesn't count as a conference game. So they really have had a fortunate schedule, for being honest. Yeah, Army comes in ranked. I forgot exactly where
they're ranked 18th right now.
18th. So there is a chance that they can get into the playoff picture. If
100%.
you beat Notre Dame, who's number 6, and you go undefeated the rest of the way, like they will play Tulane, who's a top 25 team now, in the American Championship game. You do that, you're certainly jockeying with Boise State for that spot, or even more if there's a 3-loss Big 12 champion. Our colleague Ralph Russo thinks there's no chance. He thinks there's no chance that Army and Boise State could both be in. I think there is.
They need help from the Big 12, but there's a chance.
If the Big 12 destroys them, I do think it's possible. But keep an eye on Army. They've been good, but they've played, I think, 2 teams with a winning record, North Texas and East Carolina, one of which has fired their coach, the other of which has fired their defensive coordinator. So it is a bit of a different type of situation.
I just think, again, this is what we want the playoff to be. And Liberty kind of tested it early in the year, where they're beating teams they had last year on their resume, but they just were not a very good team. You could see it, and they were playing a bad schedule. Army's been pretty dominant in some spots, and I just think the playoff was created so that we didn't have to talk about the championship in theory. The playoff is created that every team that has a claim to the title gets to compete for the title. If you are undefeated with a win over Notre Dame, I do not care about anything else. You are in the field and you are playing. If they are not, my head's going to explode.
You kind of got it. That's the whole point. That's why we expanded.
Yes.
Because if UCF being undefeated and not getting in the mix, Army undefeated with a win over Notre Dame like that.
You have to put them in. If they lose, even if it's a close loss, you had your shot. I'm okay with leaving Army out. You played such a bad schedule. You had a chance to prove yourself. You didn't win that game. That's fine. But if you win, I don't want to hear it from the people who are going to be complaining, because if they win, they're going to knock out an at-large. Maybe it's a Big 12 team. Maybe it's a SEC team that might, in theory, be better. Listen, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, good teams. You had your chance. You don't have a claim to the title. You getting a chance to play for that title is a bonus. That is a welcome thing for the 12-team playoff. You should thankful for that opportunity, but you don't have a claim to the title.
It does knock out Notre Dame.
Yes,
and
which will be fine.
You had said 2-loss Notre Dame was probably getting in. They're not getting in. 2-loss Notre Dame?
Probably not. There's probably not. Probably not. I would say almost certainly not.
They'd be out.
But there's still... let's not rule out the chaos scenario. The Big 12 still exists. The ACC has some questionable stuff. You're probably right, but we'll see. You're probably right.
Dame, what do you think?
I wouldn't put Notre Dame. Listen, I said Notre Dame shouldn't be in after they lost to NIU. So definitely do not come back to me if they lose this damn game, because I will lose my damn mind if Ubben gets on here talking about, well, we got a little bit of a mix-up in the Big 12, and, the ACC is a little improvement. I don't give a damn,
I got to tip my
Ubben.
cap to that. That's pretty good.
I don't give a damn. Notre Dame should not be in the playoffs if they lose this game to Army. Now, listen, they lost to NIU. They looked a little bit better. Riley Leonard's looked better. They look better on offense. Whatever.
They've been rolling.
Yeah, they have. I'm not sold on them, okay? Just for all you Notre Dame fans out there who've been blowing my IG up, I'm still not sold, and I'm still not on the bandwagon thinking they should be in. But as of right now, the committee sees otherwise. Okay, fine.
I'm cautiously skeptical of
Prove
Notre
it, though. Prove it, because when I look at this game for Notre Dame, I compare Army to Navy, right? And I see Army being a much improved version of Navy. I would take Bryson Daly over Blake Horvath 10 out of 10 times. The Army runs the ball better. They have better time of possession. They take care of the football better. They convert drives to points better. All they got to do is not turn the ball over 6 times like Navy did, and this should be a much, much more competitive game. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have seen in years past that when you get Notre Dame in a close or a situation that they don't like to be in a place where they're uncomfortable, they usually lose.
Yeah, I did notice, a lot of pee in their pants in the Northern Illinois game. It was not
They're not ready for this moment.
It's just the whole second half, it was like offense. It was like, wait, so I throw the ball when the receiver's open, right? And then if there's a defender in front of me, I should block him, right? That's what we should do. Like the basics of the sport seem to be lost on Notre Dame in the second half of that game.
With Army, they were pretty lucky to get out of North Texas with a win. They win that game 14-3. North Texas, I think, has 2 red zone turnovers.
Bad picks. Basically, Chandler Morris misread it. If Army wins this game and gets in the playoff, they better send Chandler Morris a fruit basket with the good stuff in it.
Notre Dame fans hate me too because I have them ranked number 10 in the 134, and I say, look, these SEC teams, they have better wins and better losses than you. If Notre Dame beats Army, I will jump Notre Dame over those SEC teams. They're all very mad at me, but I've been consistent with that. Notre Dame has been really, really good. I just wonder if Riley Leonard gets in a tough spot, how will he handle it? He hasn't had to. They've dominated Virginia, Florida State, everybody that they've played since then. Louisville game was a little bit weird. They were getting some.
They were mostly in control.
Some turnovers there, but Notre Dame's defense is legit. It's really good. The question is, can Army continue to pick up first downs, run the clock, get those 8-9 minute drives, and keep Notre Dame off the field? I don't know if they can because I think Notre Dame's defense is really good, and they've already played a triple option.
Yeah, I think that matters. I just think the Navy game was so weird because Navy had been playing so clean to that point. Or making some weird, like if you get behind the chains, if it's 2nd and 20, against a good defense and you're Navy, it's like, well, just punt it on 3rd down at that point. But they're missing pitches. They're having balls punched out. It was a weird game. I don't know what the total yards were in that game, but I bet at least in the first half it was a lot closer than the score probably indicated. So I think people look at that Notre Dame game and that Navy game and they say, oh, they'll be fine against Army, and they might be. I like Army to keep this game close as long as they don't make some of the back-breaking mistakes that Navy did.